once we had settled into Wimbledon, we started looking. Once we had our jobs as well and we knew where we were going to be based, we then started looking for somewhere to buy. So yeah, we started sort of working out what our commutes would be based on where we were working at the time, and looking at properties and that sort of area that worked for that. At the time we were both contracting, so we knew that would be slightly tricky to get a mortgage even though we were earning decent salaries. A lot of the mortgage lenders will just sort of say no because you don't have a official job contract. So yeah, we spoke to a mortgage broker and she was actually really helpful and said that we would be able to get a mortgage. It just meant that we had to do quite a bit more paperwork and sort of really prove our earnings.
Hello everybody, thank you for watching. Please do subscribe if you haven't already and turn your alerts on so you can get all of the up-to-date activity from Move IQ. We've got lots in the pipeline, lots planned, lots coming at you. Today I'm joined by Lauren as part of my mission for first-time buyers and to help and to educate and to inform first-time buyers. The average age of first-time buyers now is 33. We've all got to do something to help bring that down because first-time buyers are such an important part of a healthy and functioning housing market. Anyway, Lauren, great to meet you. I've heard a little bit about your first-time buying story, but I'd love just to talk it through with you. How did it all come about? Give me the background.
We were initially renting in Wimbledon. We just returned from a couple of years in Australia, and basically returned with the plan to do all the traditional things. Like we got engaged on the way home. We were planning to get married, and obviously a house is the next one on the list.
Yeah. How long had you been living abroad?
We were in Australia for 2 years.
Right.
Yeah.
Tough to come home? What was the motivator to come home?
It was just thinking that it's time to buy somewhere to settle down. We were just feeling it was time for some reason, and it just didn't feel right doing it in Australia. It felt that it was needed
Not
to be
home.
near family and
So I'm a huge fan of Australia. I got married in Melbourne and I love spending time there. So I'm interested. When you moved to Australia, was that we're off to Australia and that's it, goodbye everybody, or was it we're going to Australia for a little bit?
We initially planned to go there for about 9 to 12 months. So we were thinking it was more of a sort of travelling experience that we would do a little bit of work and fund ourselves along the way. But as it turned out, we both got quite good jobs and got fairly settled, and we really liked the lifestyle, and we had made some good friends over there.
So you had how long over there? A couple of years?
2 years over there, yeah. And then we rented in Wimbledon for I think about 15 months. And then once we had settled into Wimbledon, we started looking. Once we had our jobs as well and we knew where we were going to be based, we then started looking for somewhere to buy. So yeah, we started sort of working out what our commutes would be based on where we were working at the time, and looking at properties and that sort of area that worked for that.
Whereabouts was that?
Strawberry Hill, Twickenham, that sort of area, southwest London. We started off more in a slightly more central in sort of Richmond area, and then looked at the prices and thought we need to move out slightly. So we did that, and then spoke to a mortgage broker because at the time we were both contracting, so we knew that would be slightly tricky to get a mortgage even though we were earning decent salaries. A lot of the mortgage lenders will just sort of say no because you don't have a official job contract. So we spoke to a mortgage broker and she was actually really helpful and said that we would be able to get a mortgage. It just meant that we had to do quite a bit more paperwork and sort of really prove our earnings. And then actually the first property we viewed, it's just the way sometimes, we decided to put an offer in. Okay. Yeah.
Did it all go according to plan?
At first it did. So I think quite quickly they accepted it, and then we went back to our mortgage broker and said, our offer's been accepted, we want to go ahead and get the mortgage offer in place. And so she started working on that. But unfortunately, just because of all of the paperwork due to being contractors, it took a long time, and during that time that it took to get the paperwork sorted out, the sellers pulled out. So we were back to square one.
Disappointing.
Very disappointing.
Very disappointing. Yeah. But it happens, and I suppose you learned quite a lot on the way, and actually now your paperwork
and then, we got all of the paperwork in place.
Completed.
And so that was, we even had a survey done on the property and everything. So we were, we were very close to signing on the dotted line. It was, they just they said that they pulled out due to ill health, but
Right.
who knows?
So the search went on.
Yeah.
Talk us through it.
So once we basically had our heart set on that particular road that property was on, we just kept our eye on it in that immediate area as well, and viewed quite a few more places, but none of them quite matched up.
And why were you so keen on that specific road?
It had a real sort of community feel to it. It was like a little, what do you call it, like a cul-de-sac, I suppose. And when we'd met the owners of the house before, they said there was a sort of, real neighbourhood vibe to it, and people knew each other, and that was a big, important part of it to me, because I work from home, so I spend a lot of time. It's like my office as well as my home. So I really wanted somewhere that I could sort of feel safe and happy to be spending a lot of time there, basically.
So the search went on, but actually you had identified...
I kept my eye on that road. And actually 2 more properties came up on that road. We put offers in for both. One was rejected straight away because they had a cash buyer. Even though we were first-time buyers, we had the mortgage offer and everything in place. They chose a cash buyer over us, which was a shame. And then the other place did accept our offer, but unfortunately, again, it fell through. So at that point, I think we took the hint that maybe that wasn't our road.
Oh dear. What went wrong with that? They changed, they pulled out? Yeah,
they pulled out again. We, did everything that we were supposed to do, but it just, it happens, I'm
afraid. Twice in my life, and I'm not a big fan of moving, I haven't moved loads, but twice in London, I have identified a particular road, and indeed a particular side of the road, and gone, that's where I want to live. And I you can do it in a big metropolitan place. You can't do it in villages and that kind of thing. But because many of our Edwardian Victorian houses, they're all built at the same time. The streets were all built the same way, and yet they've been adapted in the interim to suit people's tastes and lifestyles. But I always felt that if that was where my budget could buy me the space that I wanted in order to move, and I liked that street, and I wasn't in a mad hurry, then be fussy about the street, but then don't be fussy about the house. So I love the fact that you identified a street and then offered on several houses that were on it, because the location was clearly more important to you than the house.
Yeah, it was, definitely,
Given the job that I do and the programmes that I present, location, I'm really sensitive about location. Because you can change the house.
Yeah, that's so true.
Anyway, I'm waffling on. Back to the story. So 2 or 3 didn't go your way.
Yes, and this was, must have been towards the end of 2015 now. We got married at the end of 2015, so when we initially started looking, we were really hoping we'd find somewhere before we got married, but didn't work out that way, but it's fine. We were happy renting in Wimbledon. And Christmas 2015, I actually got so keen, I went and gave Christmas cards to everyone on that road and said, if you're thinking of selling, we're interested.
Well done you. Did it produce anything?
It didn't, no. But
well, that's really proactive though. I love it.
I think when you really want something, you just have to try everything, and then at least you can rest assured that you did all that you could.